You've felt spirit before, but how do you know that it's real? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to distinguish what is spirit and what is your mind. I'm going to tell you a little story first. When I did my very first reading, like my mediumship reading, like a real reading, a reading without cards, without reading the book within the deck of cards, I was really scared. I am not going to lie. I was shaking in my boots. So I decided to do a reading for someone that I didn't know too well. So this was for one of my hairdressing clients. I was a hairdresser at the time. I knew she went to a spiritual church. I knew she was very open and available for me to practice on her, but I was still really nervous. I knew nothing about her apart from her hair and, of course, her name. So here I go to do a reading. She's sitting on my couch in my house. I have my oracle cards in my hand because, hello, safety. And then I had this little voice in my head that said, put down the cards. Was that spirit? Was that my mind? I don't know, but I listened and I put down the cards. And I closed my eyes and I came into a space of calmness. I call this spirit mode. I came into a space of calmness, of grounding. This is what I'm going to teach you today. I came in and I asked the question, what can I see? And all of a sudden, in my mind's eye, in my greatest imagination, I saw a man. The man looked just like Clark Gable from Gone with the Wind. And if you are old enough, you will know what that movie is. Otherwise, you can Google it. This man is standing there. It's a classic movie, right? And he looks just like Clark Gable. He's got this dark moustache and this dark hair. He looks quite like proper. He's got this kind of energy, this kind of sly, suave energy about him. And I was like, whoa, okay. And I get the words Gone with the Wind. I was like, this is weird. My greatest imagination. Is this my mind? Am I being psychic? Who knows? So I asked another question. What else can I see? I see a little girl pop up, see a little boy pop up. They've got blonde hair, they've got blue eyes, they're similar in height. They're holding the hands of this man who looked just like Clark Gable. And I was like, what can I feel? So I started feeling energy. I started feeling sadness. I started feeling hope. I started feeling happiness. And I was like, what is going on? So it's like a party of feelings. And I'm just in this energy. And I don't know how long I was there for because, let me tell you a little secret here. Spirit is fast. So our greatest imagination has to be fast to download the information. It's not a slow process. So this is happening over, I'm assuming, a couple of minutes at the maximum. And I come out of it. I'm back into my fraudulism mode, right? So I went from fraudulism energy to like into calm, into again. And I said to her, I'm just going to tell you everything that I saw. She was like, go ahead. I told her the man that I saw, the children that I saw, the difference in height, the blonde hair, the blue eyes, and the feelings that I was having. And she said to me, Victoria, that is one of the best readings I have ever had. That is my uncle. He passed away 3 years ago. I've been trying to connect with him through various mediums. They were his children. His children were taken away from him when they were younger, and I was able to reconnect them when they were older, when they turned into adults. All this whole story, right? I'm sitting there with my mouth open, going, "Shut the front door!" Like, you're lying to me. Are you lying to me? Are you kidding me? Are you pulling my leg? I'm saying this to her, and she said no. And then, because I got the evidence and I had built some confidence, still pretty shocked that my imagination, my brain had shown me this information through clairvoyancy and also clairsentience. I could sense things, claircognience. It's like I just knew there was something happening there, and I knew there was a message, like all of the clairs, and even like clairaudience. It's like put down the cards, right? And then Gone with the Wind. It's like, again, clairvoyance. All these things were happening. I had no idea about the clairs. I had no idea about anything to do with spirituality because I was brought up Catholic. So here I am practicing, just absolutely like a baby at this. So then I tuned back in and I was like, is there anything you want to say? And I got this big thank you for reuniting me with my children. So this was quite a few years ago, and if I knew that that story was going to be such a profound teaching and the difference between my mind and actually psychic mediumship, I would have written it down to the letter. But really, at the time, it was a big deal, but it wasn't. I was like, yeah, it was probably a one off. Okay. The truth is, your psychic abilities aren't one offs, and your greatest imagination, your mind, is a part of the process. What is the difference between the mind and the psychic abilities coming through, be it intuition or be it spirit coming in? It's a very, very fine line, and we must come into a stillness, what I call spirit mode, to be able to distinguish the difference. We also must get to know who we are and understand what our yeses and our nos are. This is something I teach in my signature program, Magnificent Mediumship, because to know spirit is to know self. So let's do a little practice. But before we do that, I want to tell you do a little bit of coaching about what these differences are. Here is the first clue. Did you notice what I said in that story about I went from, I'm freaking out, am I going to get it right? The fraudulism, that is the mind. But when I tuned in and I stepped into myself, I came into what I call the inner matrix, which is the stillness. Now, if you can master this, you will know that you are always channeling spirit, or your higher self, or using your intuition. There is a peace. There is an inner stillness. There is a calmness about coming into this inner matrix, also known as spirit mode. So yes, you can be heightened and but the minute you tune in, the minute you come into your calm, the minute you step into your 5D consciousness, you can access many streams of consciousness, many paths of information, and many lines communication to spirit. So calmness and a stillness is when you're tuning in. Loudness, manicness, judgment, and like fraudulism, that type of energy, or even ego, like, yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I could be pulling cards and stuff, that is of the mind. There's a lower expression and a higher expression of everything. And sometimes I see people pulling cards and they are literally using their banks of knowledge, which is not a bad thing. They're giving guidance from their knowledge, their self, their mind. But to be a true medium, to be a true oracle card reader, a true psychic, you must come into the heart, into the stillness, the space between sleep and awake. So do you want to practice this? Do you want to tune in? Another little key point is when you are demanding spirit to come through, when you're demanding the cards to give you information, when you're in the energy of demand, it's completely different to the energy of command. Command is holding a presence. It is being the medium between the worlds. Demanding is coming from an ego place of, I need to prove, I need to do this, it's a demand, and spirit doesn't respond to demand. Spirit comes through to the frequency of which it can attune into. So we must, instead of going outward, we must come inward and tune into the reception of what spirit is at, which is what we call the 5D consciousness. Okay, so let's do a little attunement. This is going to help your mind to distinguish the difference between the subconscious and actually your intuition. So we're doing a little bit of subconscious reprogramming here, as well as your conscious mind to understand what is your yes and what is your no. Okay, this is also going to help you establish the difference between intuition and mind thought. So take a nice deep breath, close your eyes down, and I invite you to put one hand on your heart and take a nice deep breath in. Dropping your barriers down, expanding your energy and bringing roots, golden or white roots, down from your feet into the earth. I invite you to relax your jaw, relax your hips, relax your hands and your feet. When we are relaxed, when we come into deep relaxation, we are more receptive. And just coming into the felt sense of just as you're drifting off before bed, or when you're just waking up in the morning, when you're coming into the space of spirit mode. And now coming into your inner matrix, internally going within. So within, so without. Just allowing yourself to focus on your breath, breathing in slowly. Breathing out slowly. And here is the key code. Can you energetically drop your head down into your heart? Coming into the space of no thought. And if thoughts come on by, allow them, witness them, see them, let them go. Noticing what you feel, warmth, breath, expansion. And now we're going to ask Spirit to show us the feeling of psychic mediumship. You might see, feel, sense, or know, or hear. Knowing that you will be experiencing something right now. Anchoring that in. And now asking Spirit to show you a no. What does the feeling of no feel like to you? And a good way of practicing this is to tell yourself a lie and see what your body does. Usually it's a contracted feeling, contraction, sinking, smaller, solid. What does a no feel like for you? And letting go of that now. Beautiful. And now I invite you to play with the energy of a yes. My name is Victoria. Yes. And maybe you repeat that. My name is, fill in the gap. I love to, fill in the gap. Feel the yes, and the yes may be expansive, sparkly, light, fizzy, warm. Feeling the energy of a yes. Anchoring that in. This is your inner compass. I know my yes, I know my no, I know my feeling of mediumship. I know the feeling of my sacred self, my inner matrix, my spirit mode. Alrighty, I want you to gently start wiggling your fingers and your toes and bringing yourself back fully and completely into your body and blinking your eyes open and finding something purple in the room. Okay, so there is a method to my madness. As we are reprogramming the subconscious to know that it's safe to go into spirit mode, it's safe to access spirit, it's safe to receive information, it's safe to let go of the thought, what happens is we start expanding into our psychic abilities even more so. And what I love to do in these YouTube videos is to share with you bite by bite, step by step, all the knowledge that I know. And I love the saying in life coaching, can we eat a whole elephant? Absolutely. But we can't eat it all at the same time. So integration is a massive piece that I'm always teaching about in my programs, in my free content. And it's all about going, how can I bring this into my everyday life? So what I'd like you to do, this is your homework if you choose to receive it, is to use your yeses and your nos. Get really good with your yeses and nos. Do I want this apple or do I want this cookie? And then tune into your inner matrix, into your spirit mode and go, what am I feeling? Is it a yes or a no? Because the mind is going to say, give me the cookie. Well, my mind says, give me the cookie, right? But then when I tune into my body, I'm like, oh my God, my body is craving the apple. Now, I know this sounds kind of silly. It's like, I want to talk to dead people. I get it. And you will, and you are. And honestly, this is all about attuning to your psychic abilities. The human is your compass and integration is your friend. So tuning into your yeses and your nos, coming to the inner matrix, and remember what I just said, show me the energy of psychic mediumship. One of the things I teach in Magnificent Mediumship is to unapologetically and radically trust your psychic abilities. And that is what I did that very first reading. I put down the cards. I tuned in, even though I was like, feeling all manic. I went into spirit mode. I went into my inner compass, my inner matrix, and I said, show me. I asked the tool of questions. If you apply the things that I am teaching you in these YouTube videos, in any of my teachings, your abilities will skyrocket. They truly, truly will. And also I invite you to go check out the other videos. In the next video, we talk all about protecting your energy. A lot of people come to me and go, oh, this is great, but what am I bringing in? I don't want to dabble. I don't want to invite in dark things. And one of my sayings is, you are your greatest protection. There is nothing to fear. To be in your body, to be expansive, to be aligned is your greatest power, and you are the strongest entity in your reality. This I promise. This is what I've experienced. And from somebody who has been entity and energetically attacked most of my life with night terrors and with just really dark thoughts and so many things, I have literally none of that anymore. My life is literally love and light because I have an awareness where I can see so much and I know exactly what to do with what I see. But I don't want to do too much spoiling. So make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already so you don't miss a beat with the new videos coming up. Go check out the next video, share with your friends, comment and let me know how you've enjoyed this one. And I will see you guys soon. For now, namaste.